So, your whole life, make sure you can see me, your whole life speaks of your character, how you behave yourself, how you conduct yourself, how you live your life. It speaks of who you are. Someone said, I think it was Les Brown who said, that you should develop your mind and develop your communication skills because once you open your mouth, you tell people who you are. I was listening to a speech by Inky Johnson yesterday, and he said something so powerful. He said the way that he defined commitment, and I've heard this from a few other people, but when he said it, it was super powerful. The way that he defines commitment is doing what you said, what came out of your mouth, what you said you were going to do long after the mood that you said it in has left, right? So a lot of times we make commitments. A lot of times we make commitments to things and we say we're going to do things and in that moment we're excited about it. I'll take for example marriage, right? In that moment when we say I do, we're so super excited, we're so in love, we have these rose colored glasses and the other person can do no wrong. But as time goes on, that mood, that particular excitement has left the marriage, is no longer there. When you look at that other person, that is no longer there. But commitment is doing what you said you were going to do, not what anybody else said, right? But doing what you said you were going to do. It's the same thing with the job, right? If you're committed to doing something, just because people outside of you, external things outside of you get in the way and cloud your view, you are committed to doing whatever it is that you said you wanted to do, right? And so we're not talking about, staying in abusive relationships. We're not talking about staying in intolerable situations. What we are talking about is being committed to your word. There used to be a time when people would say word is bond, right? I remember my cousins saying that. Cousins from up north used to say that back in the 80s. Word is bond, right? That's when a man's word, a man, a woman, whatever, a man's word was true. That's when they stood true to their word. Come hell or high water, they were going to do what they said they were going to do. So think about that word commitment today. Think about how Inky Johnson defined it. Think about how older married couples, I've talked to older married couples, and that's how they define it as well. They said it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be lovey-dovey, right? But you have to be true to something. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And here's the last thing I want to say is if you quit, if you start this pattern of quitting, it becomes a pattern, it becomes a habit, and it gets easier every single time. And you will find yourself walking away from everything that gets hard. Your character is defined by how you handle adversity, by how you handle difficulty, by how you handle obstacles. If you walk away from it, that's your character. Your character is defined by how you handle situations when they get tough. God bless you. Have an amazing day.